Hi there, join our exclusive WhatsApp community to learn more about Cyber GRC.
In general, when we talk about risk assessment, these are the key things you will typically see in most environments. You will see the risk ID, the description of the risk in general or the threat. You will see the likelihood, the impact, the risk level, and the mitigation strategy. In a bit, you'll see it in real life. Okay, you see what everything we are saying now. You'll see how it applies in a real life situation, and we'll talk about it real quick. I want to make sure we can get into it before we wrap it up. Importance of risk assessment. Let me just give a quick high level of this. One of the biggest challenges most organizations I've seen would have is they would ignore risk assessment because sometimes everybody think it's not going to be me until it's you. Let me quote the CEO of Cisco. He said, there are two types of organization, those that have been attacked and those that don't know they've been attacked. So everybody's attacked already. There's nothing, no confusion. You know why? In the dark web, which is a crazy place the bad guys go to buy crazy softwares and do malicious stuff, you can go buy a software that can pull down a multi-billion dollar company for $50. Yeah. So the the level of effort and the cost to cause a lot of damage is so minimal compared to many years ago. So it's crazy. You know, you don't even need to be a state actor to do malicious, crazy things. That's why security training and awareness for your organization is a huge deal. Can we all type that word? Security awareness and training. Now it's so important because now you have to rely on your employees to make sure they are the first line of defense. Meaning, if somebody send a malicious packet or email, we don't want them to just click on it because if they click on it, it will potentially introduce a virus to your network, to your organization, and that's going to be potentially a disaster for such an organization, right? So people are so mindful of it. It's a very, very big deal, right, for any organization right now. Okay, so just a general quote that I thought was really nice. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So that's why it's so important. I know many organizations would always ignore risk assessment and think, well, it's just some extra burden or work. As a matter of fact, it's crazy because people just think, well, why do I need to do risk assessment? Until there's crisis, then you realize, oh my God, we didn't do a risk assessment. So today, I want you culturally, your mindset must be thinking all the time. If you're in a meeting and you ask them that was a risk assessment conducted, honestly, you'll be shocked the way people would one, they will respect that comment. Secondly, you'll be shocked to realize that people just don't think about it. They just it's not something you wake up and say, "Oh, let's do a risk assessment," because it's very proactive. You're proactive around risk. That okay? How many of us will say, "Well, I'm just going to, I just leave my house," and how many of us would say, "Well, I've in truth say I've thought about my house and say, is there a risk of a burglar coming to my house?" As a matter of fact, most of us get complacent. Sometimes you forget to lock the door, lock the garage, lock stuff because complacency, right? Because you we all it's not mentally something we think about and say, let me do a risk assessment of my home. Your back door is always opened. Your garage door occasionally is opened. Your front door is probably not locked, but those are real risk assessment. And you don't have a dog and you don't have a camera, or maybe you need but those are risk assessment. You need to, so in your home front today, all of us can even start doing a risk assessment in your house and say, wait a minute, is my house actually safe? Now, if you have a Rottweiler and some German Shepherd and Pit Bull, maybe that's a different story. Yeah, you don't need a risk assessment. I agree with you. But generally speaking, most of us need to do a risk assessment of even our homes and say, okay, are we safe? I know, all of us think everything is fine until something is wrong, right? That's the reality of it. But that's really what organizations deal with every day. People fail to do the basics of risk assessment. Very big deal. All right. All right. So, I mean, that's the gist of it. Now, let's get into something that is the action part of it. Everything we've said now is leading to this. And in case you don't have this, please, everybody must make sure you go to the website academy.skillweed.com. Please make sure you do it. This is the meat of it. This is the core of it. This is the bread and butter of it. If and let me tell you what I challenge everybody: print this document and own this project for your interviews. If you talk about this project, and you'll see what I mean in a second. Honestly, in an interview, I would respect you immediately. Let me share the story with you real quick. Look at this. My hospital system just acquired a MRI and CT scan system. And this equipment, because it's advanced, also stores HIPAA record of our patients. Their records, it includes the images, the demography, the diagnostic report. As a result of that, we needed a risk assessment before implementation of the solution to ensure confidentiality, integrity, and availability. That's the core of it. Don't overthink it. You are bringing an equipment that will store patient's record. If those records are violated or compromised, we're all in trouble. Sometimes it's $1 billion fine. So this is not a game, it's serious stuff. You can find out from Facebook, they compromised GDPR last few months. They were fined 1.3 billion euro in the UK, in Europe, just for GDPR violation. And probably it's just a few violation, right? So imagine if they have more violation, it's going to be I mean, a company can go bankrupt. That's the truth about it. So it's not a joke. These guys will come after, come after your organization big time if you violate those regulations. So it's a big deal, right? It's a very big deal. So now, what do we do? Ladies and gentlemen, you will notice here, earlier on we said, what is the potential risk that can happen if you bring a machine that stores patients' medical record? One, there could be unauthorized access. That is fair. So the first thing is, let's even identify some of the threats. There could be unauthorized access. Okay, fair point. There could be data breach. That happens all the time. You know, a patient information can be compromised. So it means if there's a breach, there's a compromise, is there a way we can make sure that we mitigate that risk for the breach? There could be system downtime. And this is something we are coming up with. And I challenge everybody on the call, tell me something else that could potentially happen. There could be data loss. There could be compliance violation, which is a big deal, right? There could be insider threats. There could be phishing and social engineering. What else do you think can be a threat by that machine? Let me see what you guys think. Let's see. Let me see some other ones, some other comment. Pipeda is the Canadian version of IPA. Thank you. Adesomi, that's a big one. Pipeda. I love that. Encryption, data breach. I love that. Loss of PI. Now, ladies and gentlemen, look at some additional risks some of our guys are coming up with. Okay, let me publish them. Okay, look at this. This is from Idris. Thank you. Software corruption. That's a big one. Yes, I agree. Data loss. So look at the additional threats we are looking at. Machine failure. That's a big one. Ransomware. Thank you. Thank you so much. Blackmail, yeah. So blackmail will be like ransomware. Okay, look at this. Data exfiltration. Okay, this is scary stuff. This is creepy actually. Data exfiltration means somebody can put a flash drive and just steal all the data. That's a big one actually. Who said that actually? Um, Adedamola, that's awesome. Yeah, that's a big deal. That's a risk actually because gone are the days we are thinking of some big machine. It could be a small device like this, and somebody just put it in your. So it means you might have to build a policy to state nobody can actually install a flash drive to your MRI and CT scan machine. Maybe that might be your policy because that is scary. Because somebody can just put a flash drive and steal all your data. That is a big one. Okay, look at this another one. Somebody said data leak. That's a big one. Inadequate. Oh, I love this. Who is this? Okay, look at this. I love this. Abiola, that's awesome. So there might be insufficient training, security training and awareness. That's a monster because at the end of the day, you might do everything right. If you have crappy staff that don't know anything about cyber and threat, you're screwed because really, I don't need to waste energy to even attack you. I'll just use your staff, send them an email because they're not aware. They click on the button, it's spread the virus to their network. That is a big one, actually. I love that. Denial, identity theft, denial of service. That's a good one. Okay, this is another one. Malware introduction through the back door. That is a big one also. And most times, backdoor is just saying they might go through your operating system, a network at the behind. It might go through a place you're not typically looking at in general. Okay, distribution denial of service. That's another one. And Oh boy, there's just so much password attack. Okay, look at this. I love this. I love this. Ladies and gentlemen, watch this. David said natural threats. Now, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes people think cyber attack is just about somebody sitting and sending software attack. Natural attack, if you don't make provision for disaster recovery, business continuity also, you can be gone with one incident. Case study: COVID happened globally. How many people in their wildest dream, let's say 3 years ago, hypothetically, if I look straight in your eyes and say, hey, um, 95% to 99% of your workforce would be working from home, you would have told me I'm crazy. But it happened. I know sometimes now it's beginning to become like an history for us, right? It's gradually fading away. Nobody's thinking about it. But that was our normal in the last 3 years. Don't forget, folks, it was crazy. Suddenly, 100% workforce became 99% working from. It's insane. Now, look at the implication, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine if there was no infrastructure to absorb working from home, which happened to a lot of business that just went under. A lot of, oh, eatery, retail just disappeared because how can you survive? How? So it means if you don't have a disaster recovery plan, it's inevitable. You might survive for a while. If there's a major incident, which we've seen that it happens very often, that can mess anyone up big time. Okay, so that's a big one. Good point. I love that. Lots of data malfunction of. Okay, I love this too. I love this. I love this. Michael, that was a good one. I love that. Skill gap. I like that. That's a good one. Detail leak. Yes. Data loss. Ransomware. Oh, look at this. Man, Dolly, you're killing this. Dolly Yeps. Okay, look at this. Third party risk. That's another one, actually. Man, there's so much. So it's now, okay, let me tell you what will happen. Many times, let me give you live trick. This is real. When you do risk assessment, you have to make sure you start by thinking through it, come up with what you think, then send it to your team and tell them, what do you think? If what I assess does not make sense, let me know and I can easily make amendments, especially when it comes to the impact, the likelihood, the risk, because it's subjective. This is where we debate a lot, right? It's going to be like an argument at time. We debate, because if you don't do that, what will happen is that what you're thinking you will do for a week, you might use 2 months because you will never agree. But if you go with a baseline to say, okay, this is the initial thought, can we now roll it back? It's going to be spot on. It's a smart thing to do. Okay, very important. Now, if you don't mind, also please do us a favor, everybody on the line. Please do us a favor. Can you just like the YouTube page so that we can have more people referred to this network also? If you don't mind, just give us a like. Thank you so much, everybody.
If you have plans to learn cybersecurity in 2026, do not skip this video. Here's what it says. Cybersecurity is divided into two, the technical and the non-technical part. Non-technical part is where you have cyber GRC. Cyber GRC teaches you governance, risks, and compliance. What we are basically teaching you is how to ensure an organization is safe. Now, Skillweed is having a 6 weeks hands-on cyber GRC class starting January 31st. You are going to have live classes with the options of watching the recording if you missed the class. You are going to be working hands-on with labs, learning risk management frameworks, and a lot more. The class is designed to ensure that when you're done, you can confidently say you've learned cyber GRC. We've had a lot of people who've taken the class and gone on to have great careers, and that's what we're offering you. So join us January 31st, 2026 for 6 weeks class that has the potential to change your life. Class costs $899. However, if you use the coupon code CYBNOV1, you get a cute discount. So what are you waiting for? Visit www.skillweedacademy.com to register. We look forward to having you.